So I can't be the only one who was a little late in getting all of their fall decorating and fall prep work done. I think I was just enjoying summer so much, like I wanted to hold on to it for as long as I could. But today I thought I would take a break from homeschooling content and just show you some of the things that we've been doing around here the last couple of days to make that transition from summer to fall. Hey everybody, welcome back to My Practically Imperfect Life. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name's Abby. I'm a homeschooling mom, nurse, baker, crafter, gardener, all the things. I love it all. And today I thought I would just take a break from homeschooling content and show you a little bit of the mom life side of things. I have been definitely putting off making the seasonal change to fall. The weather here was just gorgeous the first part of September. In fact, we had about a 5 or 6 day stretch right in the middle of the month where it was still high 80s. It was a little bit cooler at night, but still really gorgeous during the day. And then I think Indiana got the memo that the first day of fall was coming because it was like somebody flipped a switch. And we went from a high of 87 one day, and the very next day the high was only 60, the low was in the 40s, and then we had like a week stretch where that was the forecast. So knowing that, I knew a lot of my summer annuals that were outside were going to start going and they were going to need to be pulled. I had already started earlier in September switching out like flower pots that were looking a little tired and getting some fall plants in there. I had put some things in the ground, and then I have some things that were just kind of waiting for me to get planted once I pulled the summer stuff. Inside was still all decorated for summer, and even my kids were like, when are the fall decorations going to come out? We're gonna be at Thanksgiving before we know it, Mom. So I knew it was time, and I thought it might just be a fun break to show you some of the things that we were doing the last couple of days, or that I was doing for the last couple of days to get ready for fall. A little bit of our outdoor work and a little bit of our indoor decorating. And then I had so many tomatoes, you guys. My vegetable garden was amazingly productive this year. And there's actually still some fall crops going out there, but the tomatoes, I have canned twice already, and I had the entire fridge, like top to bottom, every space was filled with tomatoes, and I had to do something with them, and I hate to be wasteful, so I thought, well, we'll get one more big batch of canning done, and hopefully that will carry us through the winter, provide us with enough tomato sauce for all of the things. So yeah, I just want to invite you along with me today as I show you some of the fall prep work that we have done around here lately. Okay, so up in the front of the house, we have these massive Super Tunia Vistas that I got from Proven Winners. You'll see that I'm pulling them out one plant at a time. I only put 6 up front here, and they just got enormous. And it breaks my heart to have to pull them, but the cold weather is definitely starting to take its effect on them. Over here on the side, just grabbing some weeds as I go along. You'll see I've already put mums in the ground, which I hope will make it till next year. I have some fall annuals in, like the pansies, and there's a couple of ornamental kale just hanging out there, ready to plant in the spot where I am pulling up these purple Super Tunias. This pot cracked me up. I thought it'd be real easy to pull out just 2 coleus plants and 2 of these sweet lime potato vines, and then I went to pull up this King Tut, and it wouldn't come, and turns out it had just taken over the entire pot. It was one giant root ball. Over here was my favorite part of the garden this year. I planted 9 Super Tunia Vista bubblegum plants, and again, they just got enormous. You can see this is one plant that I am rolling up here into a giant mass, and I just needed to get them pulled. Like I said, the cold weather was going to start to eke them out. Behind them, I have some Limelight Prime hydrangeas that I planted this past May, and they're very small right now, but in a few years they should be a good 5 or 6 feet tall, and they'll fill in this space, along with the little tiny boxwoods. The boxwoods were pretty much hidden all summer long because the bubblegum Super Tunias just went absolutely crazy. And here's me showing you one plant. A few more around the corner here, just some coleus and more Super Tunias. Then back here, I threw in just a couple of annuals. This is actually a huge new bed. It goes all the length of the back of the house. And most of the plants here have to be ones that don't mind a lot of shade because the tree behind me will shade the area most of the day. You'll be just Every time I'm outside, I have to go walk by the flowers that are growing on the edge of the vegetable garden. Some zinnias and some marigolds and a few sunflowers that I planted, I think, like the last week of July from seed. And it's just amazing how much they have grown in the last few weeks. I think marigolds are definitely coming back next year to ring the whole vegetable garden. A couple of spinach are coming up in the raised beds, so hopefully that will last until October so we can harvest it. And then I got one more crop of peppers out of the garden. So the light's a little weird today because it's really overcast outside. It keeps thinking it's going to rain and then changes its mind and then gets overcast again. And so in my living room, we have Edison bulb lights. So if it looks a little yellowy in here, that's why. Anyways, I am going to see if I can tackle some of the inside fall decorations. I was going to work on the outdoors, but because it keeps looking like it's going to rain, I'm not quite sure if we're going to make it outside today or not, but we'll see how today goes. So let me flip the camera around here. We'll show you what we've got to work with. Hey, this is our collection of fall decorations. Probably not even all of it, just, oh, and that's from a project. Oh, look, hi Picasso. She's gonna help. Anyway, so we're gonna see if we can figure out how I wanna set things up this year. I do try to change things up a bit. We got a couple of areas to decorate, so let me show you what we've got to do. So the house was really noisy while I was decorating, so I thought, well, I'll just show you the final product. I have this metal tier tray that I got from Hobby Lobby last year. I just change it up each month. Right now it's got a lot of little decorations I got from Target in the dollar spot. All of the little wood signs are from this year. I think the houses might have been from last year. Wood beads from Amazon. These cute little woodland creatures, my daughter picks one out from Michael's every year. So we've got a little hedgehog and a little fox. My red truck I painted at a pottery painting studio, and I just change out what's in the truck bed each season. This tin can I got at Michael's this year. I just thought it was cute. I had these little bunches of faux flowers I got a few years back at either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And then this table runner came from one of our local grocery stores. We have Meijer in our area, and so I just like to put those out on this table. Brie inside the glass vase I got from Home Goods, and then just a few things I've had around for a few years. Up on another bookshelf I have another pottery piece I painted, a little gnome my mom made, and then some dried flowers we got at a local fair this year. On our farmhouse table, I put another long table runner. I think this may have been from Meijer as well, but I love these pumpkin centerpieces that I made this year. I got 2 white pumpkins from Michael's. They're just foam pumpkins. They were kind of a pain to carve into, but I just carved into them and then added some flowers that I picked up from Michael's for a cute centerpiece. Put one on a coffee table and one on the kitchen table. And then here's our fireplace all decorated. Some more flowers I've had for a few years with a new vase from Home Goods. Then up on the mantle, I have this Bless This Home sign I got last year at Hobby Lobby. My little fall gnome I found at Meijer this year. And then I love this painting I found at Home Goods just last week. It was only $12, and I think it's just a beautiful little piece of work. The white and gold acorn came from Home Goods as well, and then just some more flowers that I had on hand. Up above the coffee bar, I have a tin with some faux leaves, and then more of these dried flowers I got from our local Johnny Appleseed Festival. I also found this cute little sugar bag pumpkin that someone had made at that festival, and then a little Rae Dunn gray pumpkin tin. I thought that was just a cute little addition to this space above our coffee bar. All right, corner bookcase of the kitchen goes from boring to all the fall things. Now, most of the things on this display I have gotten over the years. Some things my kids made, like the little pumpkin on that shelf there, was made by my daughter. I believe my daughter also painted the fall painting that's up in the right-hand corner. I have some wood signs I got from our local Meijer, a cute little owl from Hobby Lobby. And I do love to show off some of my mugs that I have for the season. More on the coffee bar but I just couldn't fit them all there. But this space just gets changed up every season, and I love having some fun with it. Okay, now that the decorating's done, time to make some tomato sauce and get it canned. So I had a ton of tomatoes ready to go, and to make making sauce easy, I get some water boiling and I get an ice bath ready next to it. You just boil the tomatoes for about 30 to 60 seconds and pull them out and pop them right in the ice bath. And the skins just come off so incredibly easily. And then you end with this big stack of tomatoes. My son jokes that they are my naked tomatoes, all ready for processing. And then here, just showing you some of the steps to processing these tomatoes. So what I do is, once all the skins are off, is I take them, cut out the core, pick out all the seeds, and I'm just keeping the meaty part of the tomatoes. I will load them into basically like the food processor, or the food processor attachment we have for our blender, and blend them in small batches. If you notice some gaps in the tile on my kitchen wall, bear with me. We're in the middle of remodeling, and our tile cutter did not work for doing these long cuts. They worked great for cutting them in half, but not so much for the long cuts to make them shorter. So, project that we need to finish. But back to tomato sauce. So this definitely took a long time. I had to do small batches, a little bit at a time. And as I made it, I just started getting it poured into a pot here. And you just keep on going and keep on going. Once you get to the end, you should have a good sized pot of tomato sauce. Now this is going to need to be brought to a boil, and then I just let it simmer, and it simmered for close to an hour. The reason why is because I wanted a nice thick tomato sauce, and so you need to let it reduce down. A thin sauce, you might reduce it down by a third. A thick sauce, it really needs to reduce by at least a half. And then, of course, there's the mess to clean up. My dog decided to come into the kitchen and I guess provide emotional support while I was working. But here's the sauce when it started boiling. And then you can see how much it's reduced down after about an hour simmering. You can kind of see the line where it started. But it made for a nice thick sauce. So I don't add any herbs or spices or anything to the sauce at this point. Here's my water bath, just getting my cups all boiling and sterilized. But I don't season my sauce because I want to add things at a later point. I do have a couple of tools to make canning a little easier, so special funnels so I can get things in there without splashing hot sauce all over myself. The only thing in the cups right now is a tablespoon of lemon juice, and that's just something that will make the mixture acidic enough that it will preserve properly. So you just get it all done and ladled in, and then you do need to check and leave about a ½ inch head space. I have a little measuring tool that lets me know if I've left enough headspace on here. That's, again, just so it will can properly. Then you pop the lids on, it goes back in the water bath, get the water bath boiling, and then let them process for about 35 minutes. Pull them out, and then you wait for that very satisfying pop. All right, guys, that wraps things up for today. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I post more mom life and homeschooling content. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.
Sometimes we act like a fool.